All right, chat, without further ado, the absolute worst times to be alive in human history. Let's get it, let's go.
Humans have been around for roughly 200,000 years, and honestly, most of that time was spent dying in pools of our own diarrhea. So when you think of the worst years in human history, it's basically all of them. But that would be a
It really is crazy. I know I'm already pausing, I'm sorry. It really is crazy to think that humans have only been around for 200,000 years, bro. Like, oh my god, we're like 5 seconds into the video, I'm already stuttering. If the world is as old as scientists say it is, like however many millions or billions of years, like that's just crazy to think about.
boring video. So let's be prisoners of the moment and allow recency bias to cloud our analysis as we rank the top 10 worst years to be alive in human.
Before they even get into the list, I'm going to go ahead and assume that the worst years are going to be like 100% like the Holocaust, whenever that happened. Another one is going to be like, honestly, bro, I don't even know. Probably when the meteor struck. I don't know. Why does it look like my camera's flashbanging the entire screen or not? I look like I just got hit by SEAL Team 6.
In history.
Let's go.
Number
Stop pausing.
10, 1918. This year kicks off with a little
This is a
something
war,
called
right?
the Spanish flu.
Never mind.
Surprisingly, this flu wasn't actually from Spain, but it was still no bueno. Exact numbers for the death toll are kind of hard to pin down, but estimates range from 20 to 50 million human deaths globally.
20 to 50 million deaths? I thought it was like 1 to 2 million. Damn. Damn. People need some stronger immune systems. How the fuck? Yo, that really is crazy to think about though. Like every time I learn about like illnesses and shit, like with COVID, I don't mean to like be desensitive here or whatever the word is, but like my mind like can't wrap its like little fucking brainwaves around how you can just catch a flu and then just die. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know like obviously some people have weaker systems, but I don't know. It's just a crazy thought to me.
The Spanish flu was particularly deadly for two reasons. One, it was a brand new strain of the flu, and two, the conditions of the Great War made it so much easier for the disease to spread.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought there was
Soldiers
a war.
returning home brought the flu with them, infecting people in remote areas who had no immunity to the virus. What was extra special about the Spanish flu was that it was unusually deadly for young adults compared to other flu viruses of the time, leading to a significantly higher death toll.
That's interesting, bro. That's super interesting because then like if like young adults are dying, that means like, because that's like the generation that you need to carry on like having children and like expanding in society. So that's interesting. And it's also interesting that it doesn't like the main, because every time I think of sickness, I think the main like death toll is going to be like old people, obviously, because like they're just the most susceptible to, you know, with their systems being weaker and everything. I did not know that it was young adults.
This disease was terrifying for doctors, not just because of how quickly it spread or how quickly their patients died, but the process of how people died from it.
Never mind.
Heliotrope cyanosis was a symptom of the Spanish flu, where a patient's skin would slowly turn purple as their lungs filled with...
Oh my god, the purple guy was real? Five Nights at Freddy's lore confirmed. The purple guy is real. Israel. Oh my god, Israel. It's all connected. It's genuinely all connected. Alright, let me stop fucking around. Go back to the video. Can my camera stop doing this, please? It keeps like bright. Dude, why am I so bright? Stop it, camera.
fluid, preventing them from getting enough oxygen into their bloodstream. The blue/purple color would start in their lips and fingers, but eventually spread across their whole body as they neared death. After the patient passed, their entire body would then quickly turn from purple to black. Truly horrific.
Oh my god, they became victims. I can't even say that on the video. Wow, that would actually get me canceled if I just said that. Never mind.
Big stuff. To make matters worse, 1918 was also the final year of World War I, which saw another 5 million global casualties and made most of Europe no fun. Also in this year, you had the
I have a genuine question, and I'm going to get clowned on for saying this. If you guys went off to war, do you think you'd have plot armor and survive? Yes or no in the chat right now. If you're watching on YouTube, tell me in the comments. I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm too used to gaming and watching edits and shit. Bro, on God, I feel like I could solo an entire army by myself. I'm telling you, dude. I don't know. I feel like I could.
Russian Revolution going on, which ended the House of Romanov for good with the assassination of Nicholas II and his family this year. This revolution allowed Vladimir Lenin to take power, where he established a totalitarian dictatorship that oversaw the mass killing of political dissidents. The revolution was marked by brutal civil war and famine, which killed millions more. And finally,
do you guys ever take into account and like consider that we got born in the best possible timeline for the entirety and the history of humanity? Like, isn't that crazy to think about? Like, I don't know if you guys believe in reincarnation or anything. I personally don't. But like, we deadass all got born in like the best possible time. Like, yes, like there's like issues and fights that go on like in our current timeline. But like, we could have been born in like the fuck ass like 1600s and gotten executed for stealing loaves of bread. Dead ass, like, you steal an apple from the local shop, I mean, your fucking head's getting cut off, bro. You know?
Treaty of Versailles was being drafted, which, while not initially terrible,
It's called the Treaty of Versailles? I thought it was the Treaty of Versailles. Wait, chat, who knew that it was called the Treaty of Versailles? There's no way. Nah. Is it not the Treaty of Versailles? I thought the A was silent. Alright, everyone's clowning me. Alright, cool.
Germany in a super bad mood that had some pretty major downstream consequences, but more on that later. Number 9, 1492. We all know in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. But by doing that, Columbus also opened up a portal to hell for nearly everyone who is currently living in the Americas. Nearly every indigenous person that came in contact with a European settler was either killed by a disease, killed in the slave trade, killed in war.
See, I just think it's so interesting. Like, I really wish there was a time machine so I could just go back and experience this. Like, I mean, it's so fucked to say this, but like, I wish I could just experience like what these people went through, because it's like, it's such like a foreign like experience that we'll probably never have again. Like, all of the known world is discovered, or like at least as far as you know, is discovered and stuff like that. Like, this will never happen again.
Or died of a broken heart. And while it certainly didn't all happen in 1 year, the introduction of European settlers to the Americas ended up killing 90% of the indigenous population.
Damn, that's fucked. 90% is crazy. Like, bro, fight back. Like, do something. No, I'm just playing. No, but seriously though, dude, that's another thing I always think about. Like, because at that time, didn't the settlers have like guns and shit? Imagine like pulling up, like imagine defending your homeland, and you think shit's sweet with your little Katniss Everdeen bow and arrow Hunger Games type shit, and then you just get fucking RPG'd from the settlers. Genuinely just RPG'd. Like, that would be crazy. Like, you look to your left and your homeboy just gets sniped in the head. And you're like, what the fuck just hit him?
Diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza decimated communities that had no immunity to these foreign illnesses. I guess one could argue that the events of 1492 had positive effects on much of humanity, leading to the age of exploration and the eventual globalization of trade and culture that brought us things like pizza and chocolate.
Yup. Dude, thank God Columbus conquered those indigenous peoples back then, or else we wouldn't have pizza. Oh my. Yo, shout out Columbus, bro. Fuck. Shout out to Columbus.
However, the near extinction of an entire continent civilization does put it on our list. Number 8, 2008.
I know. I wish I would have said it, bro. When I said at the beginning of this video, like, you know, what are going to be the worst years? I was thinking the 2008 crisis, but I was like, is that going to be one of the worst years? Like, because nobody, like, died from it. Ah, damn it. I wish I would have said that, because y'all would have called me a genius. Now I just look like a goofball.
This is probably the height of recency bias, but who cares? It sucked. 2008 was the year the entire world realized that rich people just basically make up how much money there is. And for a number of reasons too complicated to go into in this video, something called Lehman Brothers went out of business, and then the entire global economy collapsed. Stock markets around the world crashed. The American auto industry nearly went belly up, and the cost of food and gas went through the roof. It was the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, causing millions of Americans to lose their jobs and homes. Also, if you've ever wondered
I've always wondered, you know, God, bless God or whatever, but like, what do you do? Like, let's say you're in 2008, you just got a big ass family, like, wife and kids. Let's say you got 2-3 kids, you got a nice suburban home, and then you and your wife just dead ass get laid off. Like, what is your next move? Like, what do you even do in that situation? And because like everybody else is fumbling to find jobs as well, and like you're more likely not going to get it. So like if you don't have savings, you're actually cooked.
houses cost so much these days? Well, in the aftermath of the 2008 mortgage crisis, new home construction basically stopped for about 10 years because nobody could get a loan. And since there wasn't a 10-year hiatus on unprotected sex, we now have way too...
What? Whoa, where? Whoa. Where did we go from point A to point B there? We didn't even like travel. We just fucking took a wormhole right to point B.
Many people and way too few houses. So thanks again 2008 for still ruining all of our lives. What?
So what I'm getting from all this is that we need population control, and in turn we should invent the Hunger Games. Yo, hey, crazy ass take. Dude, honestly, every time I react to one of these YouTube videos, I get myself canceled every time. Crazy. Nobody clip this. Like, don't take this out of the stream. I genuinely think the Hunger Games would be entertaining. Sue me, bro. Sue me. I genuinely think they'd be entertaining. I think if we had a real life Hunger Games with people who voluntarily signed up, on God, I think that would be so entertaining. That would be the best game show of the year. Not even a game show. It's just a live show at that point. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't know. I know that sounds crazy, bro, but like I kind of stand by the Hunger Games. No, I don't stand by the Hunger Games as it's portrayed in the movies and like how they do the districts and all that shit. Like that's kind of fucked up. But like if people like voluntarily did it, I don't know. To me, like it would just be interesting.
China and Australia's economy actually grew during the Great Recession?
Until you sign up your friends because you got mad. Yeah, dude, imagine you just wake up someday and they got your name in the fucking draft because your friend signed you up and you actually get picked.
What do you mean America isn't the center of the universe? Number 7, 73,000 BC.
Okay, so like how the fuck do you even know what happened in 73,000 BC? I mean, let's just take some guesses in the chat. What is this going to be right now? Probably the meteor strike? I don't know.
Okay, so we're a little loosey-goosey on the exact year.
Yeah, no shit. Like who's writing this down? The cavemen?
Rewind Earth's clock 70 or so millennia, and you'll witness what's known as a super volcano eruption. This particular event is known as the Toba catastrophe.
I always think about this, guys. Yo, do you guys think you would have survived Pompeii? Yes or no in the chat? Here's my thing. How do you get buried in Pompeii when you see a giant ass volcano erupting? I'm telling you, bro, I'm outrunning the volcano and its ash and its lava. I'm outrunning everything. I don't get how you see that massive asphalt volcano exploding and you're like, yeah, let's stay in the city. Let's see if we can play this one out a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm surviving that volcano eruption.
And is probably the thing Indonesia is second most famous for after Komodo dragons. This eruption set off a 10-year volcanic winter that nearly eliminated the entire human species. The Toba eruption released so much volcanic ash into the atmosphere that it blocked sunlight, leading to a drastic drop in global temperatures.
How big does a volcano have to be in order to even do that? Like, what's the biggest volcano on... I mean, let's look it up. What's the biggest volcano on planet Earth? No shit on planet Earth. What are we looking up? Planet Mars? Tamu Massif is the largest volcano on Earth, covering an area of about 120... Oh my fucking god. 120,000 square miles? Yo, what if that shit erupted, bro? Are we just cooked? If Tamu Massif erupted tomorrow, is it just over for us? Like, is there any saving us? 120,000 square miles. Oh my god. That's crazy.
The few survivors faced harsh conditions, with scarce food and resources, struggling to maintain their communities. The entire human population left on Earth was somewhere between 3,000 and 10,000 people.
Bro, shout out to those people. They actually clutched up for us. That's the definition of game time clutch. You're telling me last 3,000 people on planet Earth and you clutched up for the entirety of civilization and kept us going? I mean, that's fucking heart right there. That's heart.
Roughly the size of Brandon, South Dakota. You've never heard of Brandon, South Dakota?
Yeah, bro,
okay,
was born in
Madison
South
Square
Dakota.
Garden can hold around 20,000 people, so the entire population left on Earth after that eruption could fit in MSG twice.
That's crazy.
This phenomenon is known as a genetic
crazy.
bottleneck, and is also why we're all kind of related. Number 6.
What? We're all kind of what? Chat, we're brothers and sisters? Me and you? Wow. Who would have known? Yo, shout out to all my brothers and sisters watching this video, man. Long time no see, guys.
1929. The Roaring Twenties came to an abrupt end in 1929 when the U.S. stock market crashed, setting off, stop me if you've
Is
heard
this
this
the Great
before,
Depression?
a global economic collapse. The Great Depression that followed was a decade-long economic disaster that affected almost every country in the world. Mental health was at an all-time low immediately following the market crash. Self-deletion rates were so high that some hotel operators in New York City would ask guests if they needed a room for sleeping or jumping out of.
I mean, that genuinely can't be legal business practice. Like that shit can't be legal.
That's real. In the U.S., 1 in 4 people became unemployed, and wages for the remaining workforce were basically cut in half. Breadline.
Yo, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, and I really don't know, how we can compare these two. I thought the Great Depression was way worse than only 1 in 4 people being unemployed. Quite frankly, that's absolutely horrendous. What's the unemployment rate right now? Isn't it like 10%? And I feel like that's only going to be climbing in the next few years. I actually had this conversation at dinner tonight with one of my siblings. I was just saying we went to Honey Grow, which is like a fast food kind of bowl place, and I was like, how long do you think it's gonna take before these food cookers and bowl makers get replaced by AI, or not AI, just robots? I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be back to that 25% really quickly.
And soup kitchens became a common sight, and many people lost their homes and savings. One farmer of the day knew he couldn't afford to feed his sheep, so he slit their throats and threw them down a canyon.
What? What? That was the best option? You couldn't have humanely killed them and then just eaten their meat? Or pause, Jesus Christ, not eating their meat, but I guess eat their meat, but not in a fruity sus way.
Instead of letting them starve. It's what? They don't like sheep? The events of 19...
I guess if they're not eating, then I guess they wouldn't be any value to eat yourself because all the nutrients are gone, but...
29 set off a decade of economic hardship that culminated in Earth's favorite pastime, World War. Number 5, 1601. If you take one thing away from this video, it should be that volcanoes are bad.
Is this going to be
bad,
Pompeii?
in fact, that one volcano in Peru
No, Pompeii wasn't that bad. It just killed one city. Why do we glaze Pompeii? Didn't Pompeii only kill Pompeii? Holy buzzword maxing. You know what I mean? Why do we glaze Pompeii?
Turn the lights off for the whole planet.
It's like when teachers glaze Mesopotamia, bro. I get it was the first civilization and shit, but dude, they were low-key not meta at all. They had no tech, no meta. I don't even think they had a language. What are they doing?
The eruption of Huayna Patina in 1600 was one of the largest volcanic events in recorded history, spewing vast amounts of ash into the atmosphere. The summer of 1601 was known as the summer with no sunshine. Sunlight levels dramatically decreased everywhere in the world, causing mass famine, but nowhere more so than Russia.
Bro, I just feel events like this, I just couldn't imagine that happening today. You know what I mean? I just couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine, waking up tomorrow and then, just the sun being gone. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just, current event bias or something.
The lack of sunlight led to crop failures and livestock death. A third of the Russian population starving to death in the 2 years following the eruption.
What is this guy doing with his lower half right now?
No sunshine also meant it was extremely cold. So to keep warm, many in the region turned to...
Yo, what is with these graphics? Why are they all doing that? I don't even know.
Killing any animal with fur they could find, not just for food, but also to create clothing and blankets. Accounts from the time describe people so desperate for food that they ate grass, their pets, and each other. Which means all of us are just one cloudy summer away from cannibalism. Number 4, 1942.
What?
Not much to see here, just worldwide violence and genocide.
Okay, yo, this is actually a deeper question that I want you guys to answer. YouTube, answer in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Do you guys think, genuinely, your life is on line? Let's say you're stranded in the middle of the ocean on a boat. You got your best buddy. Best buddy dies, right? Do you think if you ran out of food, you would be able to eat another person? Answer honestly, bro. Your life is on the line. Do you think you would be able to do that? Bro, I don't think I could. Like I don't care if my life is on the line. I just like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things, bro, where you're really like, it's like a game time decision, as fucked up as that sounds. It really is a game time decision, bro. Like, it's like that. There's literally a story of that one guy who got stranded on a boat, and then he survived like a few months at sea. Like, I don't, or maybe it was a few years. I don't even know. But like, he had his buddy out there with him, and his buddy didn't make it back. And the story that he tells is that his buddy died and he threw the body overboard. But then the family tried to sue him. The family of the person who died tried to sue him because they said that he ate the other person. And it's like, dude, I just don't know if I could do that. Bro, I don't know. It's like, I mean, maybe if it's cooked, but like if I just gotta go in raw, pause on that. Oh my god, heavy pause on that shit. Not to a dead body. But like, I just don't think I could do it. Maybe if it was cooked and like seasoned. Okay, I'm talking crazy right now, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I don't think I could do it though. I don't think I could do it at all. Yeah, like, yeah, physically my body wouldn't let me eat someone. Yeah, exactly. Like, it would just be, I would probably throw up, which would in turn cause me to lose all the nutrients that I do have currently.
Resulting in millions of deaths. At the tail end of 1941, Japan made a monumental strategic error and, not so elegantly, insisted that the U.S. become heavily involved in World War II. This essentially turned America into a death factory, where every able-bodied human was either making stuff that killed people or just killing people. The war effort mobilized entire...
once again, this is going to sound so fucked up to say. I really do wish I could take a time machine and just go back to experience what it's like to live during a time of war. Just to, like, get that experience. I just think it would be so interesting to, like, firsthand learn about, like, stuff that happened back then.
Populations, leading to the development of new weapons and technologies, including the Manhattan Project, which would cause all kinds of problems for future humans. Meanwhile, soldiers and civilians in Russia and China were dying by the thousands every day. The brutal fighting on the
Imagine just bleeding out in like a battlefield somewhere. God, that's a fate worse than hell.
Eastern Front and the Pacific Theater claimed millions of lives. Nazi Germany continued its war crimes and genocide, so not great. Number 3.
No shit. You know what I will say though is like, you know how we like bombed Japan in World War I or in like Nagasaki or Hiroshima or whatever it was? Bro, imagine being a Japanese person that day and you just look out your bedroom window and all you see is like the sun just like rapidly approaching you. Deadass just like a sun on planet Earth and you're like, yep, I mean, it's wraps. Like, it's over, you know?
1943. Remember 1942?
Is this
like
pre-recorded?
That, but again. 1943 saw some of the deadliest battles of World War II. The Battle of Stalingrad, one of the bloodiest battles in history, ended in early 1943 with the defeat of the German army. This marked a turning point in the war, but came at a staggering cost.
This is another thing, and I don't know if anyone in the chat would know this. How does a victory get declared in war? Because I know that, like, sometimes the opposing army just knows they're outnumbered, so they surrender. But, like, war is just so weird to me to think about because it's like, imagine you're on a battlefield and, like, everyone's just killing each other and then all of a sudden it just stops and you just, like, agree to not kill the other people. Like, you're already almost there. Like, you know what I mean? You may as well just mow down the rest of them. I'm just talking. Dude, at this point, I've said, like, 20 things this video that are going to get me canceled. That's another thing. Like, I just don't get how war works. Like, how do you just stop out of nowhere? You know what I mean? Like, I always thought war was like, it's just a fight to the death. And if you're, like, last one standing wins. You know what I mean?
Cost of over 2 million casualties.
Here's another thing. And you guys are going to clown me for this. And maybe you won't, though, because I feel like it's a very human thing. Sorry, I keep pausing. But if I was in war and I could just tell we were getting our ass whooped, bro, I am running. Like, I have absolutely... I don't care what country I'm from. I don't care if I'm from the USA, Russia, China. I don't give a damn what country I'm born in. I do not have that much respect for any country to, like, stay and fight. I don't know, bro. Maybe that's, like, crazy to say. I don't know.
In the Pacific, the Battle of Guadalcanal and the continued island-hopping campaign resulted in massive losses on both sides. And Nazi Germany continued to...
You're going to go to prison for life? Oh, that's so true. It's like, would I rather just die, dude? Oh, now that you say that, bro, I forgot you get put in prison for that because it's like an oath as a soldier. I'd actually rather just die. Life in prison to me is actually a fate worse than hell. Like, I don't think if I ever got like life in prison for some odd reason, whatever I would do, I would lose my mind. I actually couldn't imagine being in a prison cell. Like, imagine you get arrested at like 19 years old, rest of your life in prison. Imagine spending 60, 70, 80 years behind bars. Genuinely. Like, that is crazy to me. It's like the movie Shawshank Redemption. Like, where that old guy gets out when he's like 80. Dude, that's a sad movie. It's a great movie, sad movie, though. He's like checking bags at the grocery store.
Doing Nazi Germany things. So again, a horrible time. Number 2, 1347. Welcome to...
Oh, hold up, chat. Hold up, guys. I gotta restart the live stream real quick. I got a restriction. Yo, TikTok, join right back real quick. I'm gonna restart it. Oh, guys, TikTok just keeps fucking up my live streams, bro. It's so annoying. All right, back into it.
Medieval times. You really can't say anything about the mid-1300s that doesn't involve the bubonic plague. In 1347, the Black Death began ravishing most of Eurasia and parts of North Africa. Within a few years, the plague killed roughly a third of Europe, which probably put a pretty big dent into the cappuccino and scarf industries. The plague was caused by a bacterium in the fleas of rats, and rats were basically
the whole like concept of like sickness and flu is just so crazy to me. Like, I just couldn't imagine 1/3 of your country getting wiped out. Like, imagine like you wake up tomorrow and 1/3 of America is just gone. That's like so crazy. And like it happened slowly and methodically when it happened during the bubonic plague. So it's like having that like slow burn and churn. Dude, that's terrible. I will say, bro, the one thing about the bubonic plague in that whole era, dude, they actually had that shit on, bro. Those plague outfits, holy tough, dude. Holy tough. I mean, those were fire ass fits, dude.
Podcasts of the 1300s. Completely unwanted, but absolutely everyone had them. Death from the bubonic plague was swift, but painful. An infected person would develop horribly swollen lymph nodes, often accompanied by...
Oh my god. Yo, hot take. I would rather have the Ebola virus than have a sore throat. Sore throats, bottom one sickness of all time. I would genuinely, like, just rather you to pull the plug than to give me a sore throat. I had a sore throat, like, a month ago, dude... It makes me thank God every day for being healthy. Like, you never, like, really appreciate, you know, good breathing ability until fucking you get a sore throat, dude. Or a stuffy nose.
By fever and diarrhea, and would usually be dead in under a week.
Damn.
Medicine of the time was primitive, to say the least.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I keep pausing. I'm just gonna yap, bro. I don't even care at this point. That was another thing about that time period back then, was the medicine was just so shit. Like, I remember reading, like, if you had, like, an infection or if you had, like, some disease, they would deadass just cut into, like, your skin and arteries because they believed, like, the infection was in the blood. So they thought, like, cutting your skin or whatever and just letting the blood drain out would, like, cure you. It was, like, the dumbest medicine of all time. Never worked.
Popular cure for the plague included taking a healthy chicken, plucking its back and bottom clean, and then strapping it to the patient's open sores.
What the fuck is going on? I've never heard of this bullshit. This can't be real. The guy that made this video had to just make this shit up. This freeze frame right here is crazy. This is ridiculous.
The idea was if the chicken...
he had to animate the chicken throwing it back on him right now. I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind.
...became ill, it was helping to pull out the disease from the patient. Okay, let's check your chicken today. Oh, awesome, it's almost dead. You're doing great. This would be repeated until the patient or the chicken died. Often both in many cases.
Damn.
Chickens weren't the only animal rubbed on boils. Plague doctors also tried rubbing cut-up pieces of snakes on them as well.
Ugh.
See, snakes were considered evil, and so was the plague. So the idea was that if evil things liked other evil things, putting the snake on a boil would trick the plague into...
It's crazy that that's as far as they got back then. That's all they could come up with is evil plus evil equals good. Like, I don't even know. Dude, I would be afraid to be a doctor back then. I would be afraid to be a patient, bro. Imagine you're just, like, sick, you're knowing you're just cooked, and the doctor walks in the room, and it literally just looks like the devil himself, like, literally the Grim Reaper with that those fuck-ass, like, bird masks on, just aura farming while you're dying.
To following the snake and leave the patient's body. Another cutting-edge cure for the Black Death was eating crushed emeralds. People who couldn't afford emeralds
What?
would drink arsenic or mercury instead.
You know what? I'm just going to continue.
Which probably was just a little less effective than the chicken and the snake. All the anguish from this pandemic began to pull society apart at the seams. Many people took the chaos of the situation as an opportunity to steal from the sick and weak. Needless to say, people were so scared to help one another. Many were left to die.
Yo, philosophical question real quick, chat. If the bubonic plague came back tomorrow and half of America got sick and was too weak to defend themselves in their house, what kind of person would you be? Would you help other people, or would you use it to benefit yourself? What kind of person would you be, bro? I, honest to God, dude, can see myself being on both sides. I low-key feel like if the plague came back tomorrow and it was a choice between helping other people and potentially dying, or like stealing and like, you know, or like making like a product to like help with the, or like sell to people with the dude, I don't know. It's a really tough like philosophical question. I don't know. There's so many like there's pros and cons to each side. I could see both in all honesty.
Alone in misery. It took centuries for Europe and other parts of the world to recover from the mass destruction of the Black Death. Number 1, 536.
Last one of the video, chat. This is the worst year to be alive. So this better be a banger.
This is essentially a greatest hits of all the worst moments from human history. Things kick off with our old friend the supervolcano, which sent a cloud of volcanic ash over the entire northern hemisphere. This was
1600 years ago. Keep that in mind. 16 grandpas ago.
Left most of the world in virtual darkness for 18 months, brought the global temperature down 30 degrees, and caused, say it with me, widespread famine. Things were extra bad in China, where dust rained to the ground by the handful, and 70 to 80% of the population died. The lack of sunlight led to crop failures, starvation, and social unrest.
Like, how did we even make it through this bullshit? Like, who clutched up? Who do I have to thank for clutching up and saving humanity here? Who do I have to thank, bro? Someone clutched up for the team, and we'll never know who it was.
But wait, there's more. On top of extreme food scarcity, a plague broke out in Europe. People would break out in pus-filled boils before perishing by the thousands, making disposal of the bodies impossible. Bodies were heaped in piles or thrown into the sea.
Now, I will say, is this the worst year of all time? You're telling me the year of the meteor that like just wiped out planet Earth didn't make the list? I mean, I guess like humans weren't alive then, so it's like, I mean, you can't really like switch.
Only to wash back up days later. And the southern hemisphere wasn't spared. To make things worse, 536 had a powerful El Nino that warmed the waters off the South American coast, killing fish stocks, flooding the coasts, and you guessed it, causing widespread famine. So yeah, 536...
Damn. So they were really just cooked that year. Like, you actually couldn't catch a break that entire year. Genuinely couldn't catch a break that entire year. I guess 531 had to have been the worst year in history then. Alright. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, I'd really appreciate if you left a like on it, as well as subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to binge watch some of my other videos, I'm going to leave those videos right up here. And if you also haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to leave that button right up here. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning into the video today. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys, and take care.